Hey y'all, welcome back to my low buy update for the end of April of 2019. So this was my birthday month, which turned out to be kind of a good and kind of a bad thing. It was good because I got gifts, which scratched a few itches where I needed them. It's bad because I did buy a few things just to get the points at Ulta, which is probably not great. It's not great. It's not. So what I bought, again, I have my notes right there. What I bought since my last update, I got a pair of shoes for my second job on Poshmark because part of what I was doing was trying to buy secondhand more than I bought brand new. And I am trying to keep that up at least for the rest of the year, whenever possible. Unfortunately, those shoes do not fit at all, but that does mean I used up the last of my work exceptions. So I did order a different pair of shoes on Poshmark. That's a half size up. But that's definitely the last garment I can buy this year without a really good cause. I am saving up to buy a set of stays because I work. I dress like I'm in the 18th century for the second job, so it's. And I've been putting off stays and putting off stays and putting off stays, and I might put them off even to the end of the year. Now that I've put in an offer for the second pair of shoes, of 18th century shoes, that are definitely not actually 18th century at all. Yeah, so definitely no more clothing exceptions for the rest of the year. My mom very nicely got me my pair of running shoes this year, so I was going to use the work shoes as the work exception, but yeah, so there's that, and so that is where I broke my no-buy. I really do feel bad about it. It's really frustrating just because, like, oh, if the shoes had worked out, if they did fit, then I would be all set. I wouldn't need to buy a new set of work shoes for quite a while because they were really nice shoes. But I tried a lot of things. Like, I did the thing where you wear the super thick socks and walk around a lot, and hopefully that'll break them in a little. And it worked for a little, but then it's an hour-long tour that I'm on my feet for the entire time. So anyway, so what else happened this month? I did get 2 moisturizers and a brow mascara and a regular mascara. The brow mascara was a replacement. I had run out of my brow pencil and I needed something new, so I got the brow mascara instead. The regular mascara was sort of preemptive. The one I was using still had life left in it, but I realized I really just wasn't enjoying it at all. So I got the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. I had used it up before, really, really liked it, and so I just rebought it, and I was reminded how much better it was than the one I was using. And then the 2 moisturizers were from No7. One was a morning one with SPF, because the one I had been using, I got in the UK. I had been using it consistently, thought I was going to use it up this month, and then very much slowed down the amount that I was using it. So, yeah, so I could have waited. I really could have. And then the last moisturizer was a night cream that I haven't been using as much. Again, just because I'm trying to use up other things first. So not a good month for no-buy so far. And then just in the last couple of days, I got, I'm not doing no-buy, I'm just doing no-buy for 21st century clothes, not necessarily 18th century clothes. And the shoes are very much 18th century style, but they're absolutely like 21st century make and models and everything like that. They're not like specialty or anything, which is why those were counted. But But I did buy a few extra pins for my gown because I needed them. I got a camise because that was the one I have is gross and was driving me insane. Um, and I got a kerchief, which I didn't need. Well, I kind of needed because the one I was wearing was not great. It was an adapted. I bought one because I was freezing, and it's like, oh, I can use this as 18th century as well. It's not 18th century at all. The pattern doesn't work. It's better that I have the kerchief that's from an 18th century pattern instead of a 21st century one. And yeah, and so I ran out of black gel liner in the last couple of days, and so I got a new one, but that's replacement. That's all I. So that's all replacement. But in terms of gifts, oh yeah, and also I as I mentioned in my quarterly update, I decluttered the Storm eyeliner, and so I thought I had it in my head that the purple Storm eyeliner was the only colorful eyeliner I had, and by decluttering it, that sort of brought that number down to 0, and so I bought a new one that's blue. It's really, really pretty, but of course, after the cancellation period for the eyeliner, for the blue eyeliner, I remembered that I already have one that's kind of like a wine color. So not a very good month low buy wise. Definitely need to keep closer track of my categories going forward. Just because I keep thinking I'm either bringing a category down to 0 or preemptively buying things or things like that. So I definitely need to do an absolute no buy, I think, until the end of the month. I want to see if I can do like an absolute, like, sure, I got the one replacement eyeliner a couple days ago, but I want to see if I can do absolutely like nothing. Like, if I run out of the brown liner, don't buy a new brown liner. If I run out of the gel liner, don't buy a new gel liner. Yeah, I definitely need to see if I can do absolute no buy. And that's going to count for clothing as well, of any kind. Of course, now I've used up all my exceptions, and so that's going to be... I definitely need to start doing an absolute no buy because, well, I have no more exceptions to be made. Yeah, and so in terms of gifts, that was kind of helpful this month, because my boyfriend got me a few books this month for my birthday. It was The Room of One's Own, Oxford History of England, and The Burgermeister's Daughter, which hopefully will come into rotation soon. And his mom is also really, really nice, and got me a Game of Thrones shirt and a new wallet, which I'd also been really, really needing and contemplating buying a new one, but then I got one for my birthday, so I didn't need it there. And a good friend of mine got Lily Singh's book, the How to Be a Boss, with a W instead of BAWSE instead of BOSS. Yeah. And then my dad was so nice. He was never super into the whole makeup thing, but he's sort of acknowledging that is a thing that I enjoy and that I do. And really the only thing that had been sort of on my list, but like I knew I wouldn't get it for a while, was Bite Beetroot. I have it on right now. Obviously it's a really, really pretty shade, but like I would have to completely use up all my reds and at least one of my darks in order to sort of make room for it in my collection. But it was really the only thing, at least recently, that I've been sort of like, I could do with that. Because there's not really been many eyeshadow releases, not that I've been looking much anyway, not that I want one either, because Pen That Palette has made me realize it takes forever to use up eyeshadow at all, so I've been trying to avoid buying it. And so Bite Beetroot was sort of the only thing that was kind of on, that had been on my wants list for a long time. I think I finished a sample a little over a year ago, and it had been on my mind for since the October that I finished it. But I kept thinking like, oh, I can't justify the $26. Like I have reds already, all that kind of thing. But I'm down to my last red. I was down to my last red with Spiderweb, and by Beetroot had always been like the, okay, once I zero out my reds, I'm gonna buy Beetroot. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna invest in it. It's gonna be a thing. And then so that was really the only thing that I had been on my wish list, that was kind of on my wish list for a while, and he was really, really nice, and he went out, he had me send him an email, be like, okay, this is what you say to the person if they ask for your email, the email, this is what you use. If they ask if they want the free birthday gift, then do the drunk elephant one. Like, I wasn't expecting. And so what he did was he printed out the email and he just showed it to the sales associate, and he's like, my daughter's birthday's coming up, are you familiar with the words on this page? And she was like, yeah. And so apparently she just got him all set up, and so he also picked up the Drunk Elephant free Sephora birthday gift, which is very, very nice of him. I really, really do appreciate that, especially because he's not much of a makeup-y person at all. Yeah, so I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, again, I need to really buckle down on the no clothing, no new makeup, nothing until the end of the month. I think at this point the hard thing's going to be like, I'm going to want, as I finish the new, the knitting projects for this quarter, I'm gonna want to start searching for new patterns and buying new patterns and lusting after the yarn to fill the new patterns, because I'm missing however many yards. So I really need to just focus on using the yarns and finishing the projects that I have, and not buying any new patterns, at least not yet, because right now I have a ton of things that I need to finish, and a ton of yarn. I don't need new yarn. I absolutely do not need new yarn. But yeah, so that is my low buy update. Not a very good month shopping wise, in terms of no buy stuff. But yeah, I need to really sort of hold myself more accountable in that regard, because I need to. This was supposed to be the year of not buying anything new or unneeded, and I definitely bought a lot of new and unneeded stuff. And I'm not mad at any of the things that are coming into my collection. Like, I'm gonna try not to like super guilt myself over it, but I definitely want to reduce the temptation as much as possible, in any capacity. But yeah, so hopefully May will be a better month in that regard. And thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!